What if an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond?
On August 20th, 2025, a structure of plasma larger than 100 Earths ripped away from the sun's eastern edge. But this was no random cosmic explosion. On the other side of that blast was 3I Atlas, a bizarre object not from our solar system.
A new telescope built to track fast-moving space objects in Chile has caught a comet from beyond the solar system moving across the sky.
NASA's quantum imaging systems, designed to see the impossible, captured the two interacting in a way that defies explanation.
On the 1st of July, NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth, and some actual bona fide experts think it might not be your typical space rock or maybe any kind of rock, or a natural phenomenon at all.
The blast wasn't just a blast, it was a bridge of energy. Now, as 3I Atlas gets closer, scientists are racing to understand if it's just a passive visitor or if it's actively influencing our star, a bridge between worlds. On August 20th, 2025, something truly astonishing happened. For days, solar physicists had been watching the eastern limb of the sun. It was bubbling with energy, but what came next was off the charts. It wasn't just a solar flare, it was a colossal plasma filament, a twisting serpent of superheated gas longer than 50 Earths lined up end to end, suddenly breaking free. But here's where things get wild. This billion-ton cloud of magnetized plasma didn't just erupt randomly into space. NASA's space weather models, running on some of the most powerful supercomputers on the planet, showed the blast expanding on a very specific trajectory. It was heading straight for the sector of space occupied by Mars and a peculiar visitor known as 3I Atlas. You see, 3I Atlas isn't your average comet. It's an interstellar object, a traveler from another star system, moving through our cosmic neighborhood on a bizarre retrograde orbit at a 175-degree inclination. That means it's moving almost directly opposite to the flow of everything else in our solar system. This thing is a true alien. For an object to make it all the way from another star is an incredible feat of cosmic endurance, traveling for potentially millions of years through the cold, dark void. And as it got closer, it started behaving strangely. Scientists noticed it was surrounded by a complex, dusty plasma, and it was emitting unusual light signals that they struggled to explain. But the real show began with the sun. It's funny when you think about it, we see the sun as this constant, reliable source of light. But it's a hugely complex and violent star. The event on August 20th was part of a clear triple sequence. First, an unusual M-class solar flare blasted off from a sunspot group rotating into view. About 24 hours later, the massive plasma filament erupted from the same region. Then, just hours after that, a huge prominence of solar material launched into space from a spot just to the north. Three massive events, all from the same side of the sun, all pointed in the general direction of 3I Atlas. Coincidence? Maybe. But top geophysicists are now proposing a shocking theory, that 3I Atlas isn't just a passive traveler. They believe its unique electromagnetic field is disrupting the delicate balance of our solar system, essentially goading the sun into these spectacular outbursts. It's as if the object's presence is making our star nervous, and the closer it gets, the more our sun acts out. This interaction is happening on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine. The distance between the sun and 3I Atlas at that moment was over 90 million miles. For a solar eruption to be so precisely aligned is one thing, but for it to be seemingly caused by the object is another entirely. This is why the quantum satellite data is so crucial. These next-generation sensors don't just see light, they measure quantum fluctuations, the very fabric of space-time. And the data they sent back showed an energetic connection, a subtle tether between the sun and the interstellar object. moments before the eruption. It was a link that, according to our current understanding of physics, simply shouldn't have been there. But this solar blast was just the opening act of the drama. A pattern of strangeness. The sun's strange behavior wasn't happening in a vacuum. Back on Earth, the planet itself seemed to be responding to this new supercharged environment. Around the same time as the solar eruptions, thousands of miles away in the Atlantic Ocean, Hurricane Erin was putting on a terrifying display. This was no ordinary storm. Erin had undergone a rapid intensification, exploding from a tropical storm to a monster Category 5 hurricane in just 25 hours. That's an almost unheard-of rate of growth. By the time 3I Atlas was in the sun's line of fire, Erin had grown into a sprawling Category 2 storm so massive its swirling structure, as seen from the GOES satellite, looked like a mirror image of the Milky Way galaxy itself. A cosmic pattern reflected in a terrestrial storm. Believe it or not, the weirdness didn't stop there. Just one day before the solar eruption on August 19th, the night sky over Japan was ripped open by a blinding flash of light. A massive fireball, a meteor of incredible size and power, streaked over the Sakurajima volcano. It was so bright that it turned night into day for a few dazzling seconds, casting eerie blue and white light across Kagoshima City. Now, fireballs happen, but one of this magnitude, happening in this specific window of time over a volcano that had recently become active again, raised a lot of eyebrows. Was it just another cosmic coincidence, or was the solar system, agitated by 3I Atlas, starting to throw rocks around? These events, the solar outburst, the monster hurricane, the shocking fireball, all seemed to be part of a growing pattern of instability. It felt like the entire system, from the sun at the center to the weather on our own planet, was being cranked up to 11. Some scientists believe these events are all connected through electromagnetism. The theory is that as 3I Atlas plows through the sun's magnetic field, it creates disturbances, ripples in the force field of the inner solar system. These ripples don't just affect the sun, they can influence planetary magnetic fields and atmospheres. This could explain why things are getting so energetic. The sun is reacting, the Earth's atmosphere is reacting, and even the debris floating around in our solar system seems to be reacting. The question is no longer if 3I Atlas is having an effect, but how big that effect is going to get. The object is on a collision course with the densest part of the sun's magnetic field, and it's getting closer every single day. And the NASA model showed exactly where the sun's blast was heading next. Celestial alignments. So what exactly is this thing that has our sun in such a state? 3I Atlas is what's known as a non-periodic comet, meaning its orbit is so huge that it either will never return or won't come back for thousands, maybe millions of years. Its 3I designation literally means it's the third interstellar object ever confirmed by scientists. But it's the way it's moving that is so incredible. At a 175-degree inclination, it's like a car driving the wrong way down a celestial highway. This unique path means it's cutting through regions of the solar system's magnetic field that are rarely disturbed. When NASA's space weather model animated the plasma filament eruption, the simulation was chilling. It showed the cloud of superheated gas sweeping outward, washing directly over the planet Mars, and a little further out, engulfing 3I Atlas between 7 and 10 days later. The timing of all this is where the story becomes truly compelling. The object is building up to a series of critical encounters. On October 1st, it will make a very close approach to Mars. Then, on October 22nd, it will be at its superior conjunction as viewed from Earth, meaning it will be directly behind the sun. From our perspective, it will disappear in the sun's glare. But from its perspective, something amazing will be happening. Earth will be in a full moon position, reflecting a tremendous amount of sunlight directly at 3I Atlas. It's been observed emitting its own strange light, and at that moment it will be staring at the brightest version of our planet. It's a two-way street. We are looking at it, and believe it or not, it is looking right back at us. The grand finale of its journey through the inner solar system will happen right around Halloween. That's when it reaches perihelion, its closest point to the sun. It will be deep inside the sun's corona, the superheated atmosphere that reaches temperatures of millions of degrees Fahrenheit, an environment of unimaginable energy and radiation. This is the ultimate test for the interstellar visitor. Will it survive, or will it trigger an even bigger solar reaction? Here's a mind-blowing fact. A recurring coronal hole, a gap in the sun's atmosphere that has rotated past Earth 12 times already, is aligning perfectly with this timeline. This same coronal hole has been linked to massive earthquakes on Earth, including a magnitude 7.7 in Myanmar and a magnitude 8.8 megaquake. The high-speed stream of particles from that exact hole is set to hit 3I Atlas right around its perihelion. The alignments are getting too perfect to ignore. But before that Halloween showdown, another series of alignments is set to put the whole system on high alert. A universe waking up. Let's take a step back and look at what's unfolding. You have an object from another star system that is, for all intents and purposes, an alien in our midst. It shows up and suddenly our sun starts acting erratically, throwing massive temper tantrums in its specific direction. Then here on Earth you have monster storms forming with uncanny speed and fireballs lighting up the sky. It all feels like something out of a movie. You have to wonder, is this all really happening? Are we just connecting dots that aren't there, or are we missing a huge piece of the puzzle right in front of our faces? The thing is, the timeline ahead only gets more intense. Before 3I Atlas makes its closest approach, we're entering an eclipse season. But this isn't just any eclipse season. The upcoming solar eclipse falls directly on the autumnal equinox, a time of year that has always been considered energetically significant. Sandwiched right between the eclipses is another jaw-dropping celestial event. From a heliocentric perspective, that is, looking at the solar system from the sun's point of view, there will be a perfect alignment of Neptune, Saturn, Earth, and the sun from around September 10th to the 25th. At the same time, Mercury and Mars will also be aligning. The entire solar system is arranging itself into a highly unusual geometric pattern, a grand cosmic formation with Earth right in the middle of one axis. This is where you have to start thinking outside the box. Is it possible that these interstellar objects are more than just chunks of rock and ice? Could they be messengers or catalysts designed to interact with star systems in specific ways? The data from the quantum satellite suggests an energetic link, a consciousness, if you will, between the Sun and 3I Atlas. They are communicating in a language of plasma and magnetic fields that we are only just beginning to detect. This isn't just observation, it's directed panspermia on a scale we can't fathom. Not seeding microbial life, but upgrading an entire system's consciousness. What if these objects are celestial hard drives, delivering a new operating system for reality itself? This plays directly into the simulation hypothesis. Are we just witnessing the programmers running a major update? The strange events and impossible physics aren't anomalies. They're patch notes we can't read. This could even be the answer to the Fermi paradox. Where is everybody? Perhaps they don't travel in ships. They propagate their existence through these cosmic networks, becoming the signal itself. They seem to be working together, preparing our solar system for something. We don't know what that something is, but all signs point to this fall being a period of immense change. The question isn't whether we'll see more strange events, but what form they will take. We're all just spectators here watching a cosmic drama unfold that began millions of years ago, and its final act is taking place in our backyard. Is 3E Atlas a mindless comet, or is it an active participant in our solar system's destiny? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this incredible story.